What's up, gamers? Here we are. I got the gamer headset on today. I'm ready to play. I'm ready to get on here and game. But before I do, I wanted to give you guys some new content here. All right, a review of part 2. Okay. I saw varying results here, so I just wanted to make sure I went through each one. That way you can skip through and you can review the questions that you got incorrectly. I have all 5 here. Your order may have been different, but you can go back and see your results and then just compare it to what I've done here. All right, the first one I'm going to go through is all about T Swift. So we're going to shake it off in T Swift. T Swift had to run back to the hotel before a show because of a wardrobe. That doesn't make sense. Because of a wardrobe malfunction, it was supposed to say, but Silly Taylor forgot to bring a backup outfit to her dressing room. So she ran 3 miles north. All right, so I'm going to start drawing my picture now. So that's 3 miles north. Okay, then she ran 5 miles east, and then 5 more miles north. Okay, 10 miles, and then 10 miles east. All right, so during intermission, it was gas. Her manager called her and asked what was taking so long. He said, "Why don't you run back in a straight line?" Taylor needs some help figuring out how far that is, so let's help her. So the straight line distance I'm talking about is right here. Okay, so what I want to do here is create a right triangle. All right, where I think about this is the total distance traveled north, which is 8 miles. And then I want to think about the total distance traveled east, which is, you can see, is 15. So I have a right triangle there. All right, I'm going to redraw it over here because there's a lot of numbers going on where this is 8, 15, and then this is my x, which is my straight line distance back to the beginning. All right, if you know your triples, you should know what this is. 8, 15, something. 8, 15, something. But I'm going to set up the Pythagorean theorem first. 8 squared, in case you don't know your triples, plus 15 squared equals x squared. Well, this is a triple, 8, 15, 17. All right, if you put 17 miles and got that incorrect, that's okay. I mean, it's still, I would still give you credit for it. If you got 17.01 or some sort of decimal around 17, that's also fine too. Okay, so that's how I do the T Swift problem. Great problem. Oh, wow, who wrote that thing? All right, it was me. How about it? That was pretty funny. I was feeling funny the other day and decided to go for it. All right, next one, we want to find the length of AC, okay? AC is right here, okay? Remember, we're going to have to use a distance formula when finding the length. All right, so I can call this one x1, y1, and this x2, y2. All right, so I'm going to do the distance is equal to the square root of, what do we got? -2 minus -4, so big plus sign. Quantity squared plus y2, which is -2, minus -1, so plus 1 squared. All right, -2 minus 4 is 2. 2 squared plus -2 minus 1. What the heck? About that, I caught my mistake here. This should be a -5. -5, not a -2. Wow, everyone makes mistakes, right? So -5 plus 1 is -4, and I'm going to square that as well. Still taking the square root. 2 squared is 4. -4 squared is positive 16. Be careful with that. Also underneath the square root, which gives me the square root of 20. Now this caused a little bit of trouble, all right, for some people. Also for this one, the answers were all weird. Like for a little bit, it was like 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, then 1, 1, and 1. All right, that was a mistake. I'm not sure what happened there, but some of us were probably confused by that, and that tripped a lot of people up. I got some emails about that, so thank you for those that emailed me. I went back and made the fix. If you went square root 4 times square root 5, you should have gotten 2 root 5. So if you were doing your work and you got 2 root 5 and then were confused by the answers, you were right. You were right. Okay, so trust your gut on that. All right. Next we got BC. All right, same process. Okay, x1, y1. Excuse my hands there. x2, y2. Holy buckets! I'm having so much fun, aren't you? On this wonderful Friday, March 20th. 2020. Here we go. X2. So we got -2 minus -7. So plus it. squared plus, holy buckets, there goes the furnace, -5, holy cow, minus -3, so plus it, squared. All right, -2 plus 7, I get 5 squared, plus -5 plus 3, I get -2 squared. 5 squared I know is 25, 2 squared, -2 squared is still 4, so you should have gotten root 29 for that one. And 29 is a prime number, so I have to leave it as that. Okay? Wow, we just did a lot of work in 5 minutes. Holy buckets. We have been doing a lot of work with the distance formula this year, and I've been very impressed by your ability to use it. So I'm sure these two were, holy cow, watch, these headphones are huge. I mean, all these wires, this wire is so long. Holy buckets. All right. So it's actually pretty cool. It's like nylon or something. I got it on Amazon. It's my gamer headset. Here we go. So, but seriously though, back to this problem. I lost my train of thought there. You guys are doing a really good job with the distance formula. Okay, you're doing a really good job. You know, sometimes we drop some negatives at times, and that'll happen. You know, everyone makes mistakes. I obviously made a mistake on the last problem here, but just be careful. Double check your work. All right, when you do these. Next question says, classify the triangle as acute, right, or obtuse. Remember, we want to check, like, if a squared plus b squared is greater than c squared, it was acute. If it was equal to c squared, it was right. And if it's less than c squared, it was obtuse. All right. So remember, c is always our longest side. So I'm going to do 16 squared plus 18 squared. Does that equal 26 squared? Okay. 16 squared I know is 256 plus 18, which is 324. I found that out yesterday. How about that? Learn something new every day. And then I have 676. Oops, not squared, just 676. And does that equal? Well, holy buckets, if I add those two, I get 580. And that's obviously less than 676, which makes this an obtuse triangle. Obtuse would have been the right answer for that one. Okay? Wow, we're having so much fun. We got one more question to do, and then I'm done with math for spring break. Just kidding. I always do math every single day. My neighbors probably think I'm just crazy sitting down here talking to myself, but that's okay. I digress. Here we go. So I have a rhombus. And I'm going to draw my diagonals. That is the worst rhombus I have seen in a long time, but that's okay. We got a battle. I remember a rhombus. The diagonals are perpendicular, and they bisect each other. So if my diagonals are 10, this is going to be, oh, you can't see that. This is going to be 5, and this is going to be 5, and this is going to be 12, and this is going to be 12. And it wants me to find the length of each side, so I want to find x. So x is all these sides. Well, if you look here in the middle, all right, that's a right triangle. Okay, that's a right triangle right there. So I'm going to redraw that right triangle. And if you know, this is a triple. I have 5, 12, and x. This is a triple. 5 squared plus 12 squared equals x squared. Oh, it's 13. 13 is the triple. Okay, 5, 12, 13. All right, there are the problems for part 2. Hopefully that cleared things up a little bit. If you still have any questions, feel free to email or message me on Schoology, or comments on this video, whatever. I don't know. Actually, you probably can't comment on this. I'm not really sure. But either way, that's it for part 2. All right. Adios.